What's going on, guys? This is ISmileyzI here once again, bringing you some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I apologize for the lack of videos the past couple of days because I have been feeling sick, and that is why I have not made the videos. But I feel a lot better today, so I am making this video. But one thing that's not making me feel better is the fact that I already recorded this video once, and then right at the end of the investigation, my computer decides it's just going to randomly crash for no reason. So I lost the whole recording. So yeah, this is my second time doing this, and yeah, so I'm really frustrated right now at that. So I don't know, that might come through the video, but hopefully it won't. Anyways, we're in the Wright & Co. offices. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room. Well, we clearly know that's not possible, so there has to be some sort of explanation. What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it! Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Don't be so sure. Huh? Would you mind coming with me? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us. I also decided to change Emma's voice because the high-pitched voice was really hard to do, to keep up for so long. It like tired my voice out, and I mean, if I had done that voice for like this whole time and have to do this again, I probably wouldn't even be able to record anymore because my voice would be my throat would hurt so much. But anyways, you know, I really don't think we should be worried about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Of course, it was our victim who was killed at the department. And my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. Oil drum, was it? Oh yeah, because she kicked over the oil drum or whatever, and apparently erased evidence for whatever reason. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never! Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just, we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was bloodstains or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Or drinking any other alcoholic beverage. Not that luminol has alcohol in it, but it might have alcohol in it. I don't know what it's made of. Here, look. I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You got an extra pair of those things? And now we're seeing red. We're seeing the scene at the bottom here, and all you gotta do is click around and you could spray the luminol stuff around, and this is only for this case, but spray it around like this, but the only place we're gonna find bloodstains is of course next to the body, where supposedly the water washed it all away, right? I don't think so. There's a little bit of blood there. That's odd. Shouldn't there be more blood? See her eyes shining behind those glasses. So this is a bloodstain? Doesn't look like someone was killed here. It's so, Emma, you're shaking. It's just, this is my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigation in action. Okay, well, we definitely know this is a bloodstain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. What's odd about this? Scientifically. Yeah, the amount of blood. Because look at it, there's like hardly any blood there. Perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It's strange. If they fought here, there'd have to be more bloodstains than this. Hey, Mr. Wright! See how I'm marking up the floor plans when we find a bloodstain? See? I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, that's very useful information to have. I saved up my allowance to buy this. Mineral testing fluid information received from Emma. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their secrets in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. And I'll drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah! Feels like we're already investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Assuming all stuff is going to come in handy. Huh. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Starr! You only trust your own eyes, Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. If you guys really want me to do the girly voice for Maya, or not, I don't want to do it for Maya, for Emma, then let me know. I guess I can still do it. I mean, I can still do it if it for like a one recording. It's just like if I record twice in a row, I can't really do it, but that's fine. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Starr, but no, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry, you lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Skye stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. Ah! I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I could be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect, and before long they called me the cough-up queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go, or fired? Phoenix, that's not how euphemisms work. You're supposed to say the actual meaning first, and then the euphemism, if you're gonna do that. It's like saying... It's like if you're trying to, console someone whose, like, loved one just died, and you're like... So they died, or passed away? Or no. So they passed away, or died? Like, I don't know. That just seems like the wrong way to do it. Granted, you shouldn't be saying the actual meaning anyways, but it's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. Wait, she doesn't mean the SL9 incident. What we have relating to the SL9 incident? Well, we do have this note. Let's try presenting that. What do you think about this? SL9 incident. On that knife, and on that note, Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Oh, that's news to us. Really? That knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Alright, so we get a new dialogue option. Or we have to present something else first. remember the last time I was like, oh, we didn't even need to present this, but I guess we actually do need to present this. The crime photo. Because if you remember, they did kind of mention that in the other dialogue, so there you go. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room, but even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime and climbed the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder? That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime? Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. 5 minutes were the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl, I've had my testimony disregarded before, and I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time. Alright, now we could talk about the SL9 incident. That's when I learned the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Oh my. That's quite brutal. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence, not even a little. What? But the criminal was executed, right? Evidence, of a sort. Made up evidence. What? You mean, they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Myself, and one other person you know well. Well, that can only be one person, right? Exactly. Officer Jake Marshall. He's on security detail in the police department, isn't he? Oh, is he? I don't think we know. I don't think we figured that out yet. Because that's where we learned this. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then, it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait! But those lunches you sell... There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Starr's old boyfriends. How many does she have anyway? Good question. Just when the detectives on the case have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection! So, rookie. Well, what? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Then you should take this. Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Oh, Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he your, are you his... Are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too, back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Well then. I suppose it's time to head over to the police department. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. A detective did get killed in their own department. So the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is. She's like a kid in an amusement park. Ooh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. Alright, so let's head to the crime scene. Or, well, outside the crime scene. I'm not sure if you actually have to do anything here. I might have to examine some things. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door is the evidence room, the scene of the crime? Question mark. Sure seems that way. Oh. What's wrong? It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. You can't handle the cacti. Stay out of the desert. Good one, Phoenix. Good one. What I want to know, if this is a guard station, where's the guard? That's a good question. I have a feeling I know who this guard is already. Me too. And I'm not sure if we have to examine things around here, but I think the main thing we want to examine is this door here. The evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it'd be open? I think we need someone's permission to go in there first. Yeah, so we can't go in there. There's no guard to let us in or anything, so all we have to do is just hightail it back out. This place is charged with frantic energy, as always. Please. Huh? Wasn't that? Want steak lunch, please? Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. How's the time for chit-chat, pal? I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Aw, poor Gumshoe. Now's the time for despair. Got a criminal. Now we just need evidence. A criminal? You mean... You heard about the stabbing at the police department evidence room, pal? Oh, yeah. Yep, there was, of course we know. I do also recall that, Game & Gant said that they had arrested him. Yeah, so that's the flashback. That's what the flashback is referring to. It's the biggest scandal that hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Standing out here talking isn't gonna fill my belly. Wait, don't leave! One of the more, head down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. He went off to the evidence room! Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Ha! Puns! Sort of. I don't know if I actually meant it to be a pun, but it kinda was. Also, for some reason, you have to, like, go back to the law offices or somewhere before you can actually get to the detention center. But yeah, that's our next destination. We have to see who they arrested. Don't worry, it's not anyone new. We've met this person before. Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best to not go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. Alright. What's up with the megaphone weaning or whatever that's supposed to be? What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was the perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Oh, of course. It's Officer Meekins. Hi. Greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Yeah, it's Officer Meekins. Mike Meekins. Officer Meekins, so you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir. I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report? No, sir. How should I say this? Wait, he isn't... Is he? You, Officer Meekins. You didn't... Did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. What? What? Now this is an unexpected turn of events. Yes, Officer Meekins. Clearly the murderer. I mean, just look at him. He's got the face of a murderer. And my dogs are barking. Sir, I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir. Sir! Ow, I could hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard office in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room? That's right, sir, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. What, Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to go into the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. Suspicious person. Yeah. What the heck is this guy doing? Apparently choking himself on his own handcuffs. So what happened then? And his neck is really thin, so... After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here, at the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Yeah, it would be in like 2 days, wouldn't it? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Sky. I wonder if they're connected at all. Yet another similarity between his case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. Actually, Phoenix, more like second things second, because we're going to talk about the victim first. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. You have to label me as a persecutor or victim, sir. Then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive and well at that. Oh yes, well that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So you didn't know him? Sir, I work in a tiny department, devoid of light and or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. What kind of sty does this guy work in? So if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Phoenix, you're always confused. That's nothing new. And your hand. That happened when Detective Goodman was stabbed? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But sir, but there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell you the truth, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. Notice this line. Pointed a knife at you? Why did he point a knife at you? The next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were... Huh? Then, when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? Then, when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hands, sir. Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared? That's some story. Some story indeed. Anyways, the thing we have to present is Goodman's ID card. Do you think you could take a look at this? Well, you know what I want to know? Is why Emma is showing it to him. Isn't Phoenix supposed to show the evidence to him? What does he do? Be like, here, Emma, show this to this guy. Because I'm lazy. Hey! That's it, sir. That's it. That's it! That's what? My head was a blank until this very moment. But, sir, now I remember. I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct. That card was the cause of it all. This ID card? Exactly, sir. That's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact, sir. Nothing. I better pry into this one a little deeper. Yep. Probably should, Phoenix. And for some reason they decide to not have a fourth option. Instead of replace a middle option. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a lost little patrolman. Lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious. Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. He went like, whoop! And leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed the knife at him. Do unto others before they do unto you. My own father's words, sir. What happened then? Well, My eyes, sir. Everything went white. When I woke, I was here. Right. There's the fourth option. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman. And the victim, whom he met at the scene of the crime, didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. Very true. And if he did pull a knife on him, it's probably more likely that the victim was not the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here? They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time. Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly? No, but the videotape is quite clear. Videotape? What are you talking about? Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. The crime I swore to stamp out. It's there, it's me. It's on tape. And you wait until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No thanks, I have my own. Well, I guess we'd better go check out the crime scene. Yep, I guess we should.